Froggy, you cannot use your superpowers and go play hero.
You know what? Half of that was cut off because it just went live. Anyway, yeah, and I can play Super as much as I want to because you know why?
Why?
I'm using my ex-cocaine powers. Woo!
Oh no. Hello, everybody. My name is Puppetine from the Geeky Pup Show here on the Geeky Pup Show today. For what? For Superman and Lois.
Yay! The guy up there, right there.
Right there. Oh,
Yeah.
you have him right there. I thought you were offering me a high five.
I am high, but I don't want to give you any $5 bills anymore. They're mine.
Sure.
I earned them under that bridge.
You don't work under the bridge. That's me.
I was playing scraps. Yeah.
Well, anyway, we are here to talk about episode 9. A lot of things are happening. A lot of things. We see sorry, not Lana. Lucy Lane's plan to knock out her father worked, and so she gets the pass to what's her name? What's the evil woman's
the other Allie McBeal.
Allie Alston. And she goes through the portal. Superman wakes up hearing that Allie has escaped and rushes to the cave, but he's too late. She's already there. And her flunky there says, "Oh, you'll never make it through." So he goes around in a circle really fast. Whee! Like that. And fly through the portal.
He slingshots himself.
Mm-hmm. And
he's barely then we see that he's missing for a week, and then it becomes a month. He's been gone.
A whole month. Jonathan, he's just been living. But Jordan's been training this entire time, and, well, today's the day we actually get to see him in action. Why? Because as they're down by the voting booths, we get to see him in action.
Sorry, I had to listen to myself. I love that.
I don't need to hear myself, though.
That makes two of us.
You definitely didn't need to hear it twice. But anyway, as we continue watching on, what do we see? Well, eventually, people need to get going. Why? Because we see Jordan first, listening, do, and there's a fire. So he flies. Well, he runs really fast. And his poor girlfriend, Sarah, is feeling a little neglected. And she doesn't know why. And he rushes into a burning building and saves, well, her father. Of course, he can't tell her that, though. So, meanwhile, Natalie, we see with her father, John Henry, they're going through some issues as well because he's been filling in for Superman, saving planes and stuff, but he forgot that it's the anniversary of his wife's death.
Yes.
And Natalie holds that against him.
To be fair, when you leave someone, sometimes it's easier to move on than to sit there and just torture yourself like he did watching old home movies over and over again.
Yeah.
His daughter being a kid, he should explain it to her. He's like, you know what? I can't live in the past. You know, he can still do things, which he kind of does at the end. Kind of tries to explain it to her, but she is just having a temper tantrum and blames it on her dad.
A little bit. Because, well, she's upset because she tried to make breakfast, tried to recreate her mom's recipe for waffles. Not my mother.
If anything, I would yell there for how many freaking waffles she wasted.
Well, they weren't any good. You saw them.
She burned all of them.
She was doing her best. Cooking's hard, Froggy.
And then she accuses her dad of flirting with Lana Lang.
Yes, because down at the polling booth, he does get a little friendly.
They weren't flirting, though. They were just having a conversation.
No. But that's how she's seen it because she's overly emotional because of the day. However, we get to see they do reconcile. He sits down and he watches an old home video that he has of Natalie's birth, and he shows that to her, saying, he is sorry. He made breakfast for dinner, did the waffles, and oh, isn't that sweet? But the sweet stuff out of the way, because they reconcile. But there are many things going on here.
And I feel bad for Jordan. He should just come out and tell her that he's, what he is.
Superboy?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, there's a complicated matter here where it's going to consume his life.
Because the writers forget that Lana Lang in the actual comics, for the longest time, knew that Clark was Superman. They dated.
I mean, they have it that they dated too, but it sounds like he didn't tell her ever. So
yeah, this one's a dick. Super dickery.
Yes, because, well, Jordan has to help again because they get together as a family and they confront Jonathan. They say, listen, that fire that happened earlier that was super strange.
Yeah, it was actually started by kryptonite. Yeah. We saw 2 cyclones in there, twisters in there, but you could tell they were not made by normal people. It was actually, it had been someone in there. We don't know who it was yet still. But they do find out Jonathan finally does come clean after the grandfather basically says, I'll give them immunity. They won't be arrested whatsoever. So he brings his girlfriend in. She explains the situation. And once in it, you kind of see the Ice Queen her heart kind of melts. And she understands why Jonathan did this. Why he did all this, protect her. Because he's in love.
Yep. And that makes it easier for her to understand. And she calms down. And they get the information that they have. And they find out about a dropping point.
Honestly, I think Clark would have done the same thing back in the day. Probably. So I think Clark's overreacting.
Well, Clark doesn't know though. So when he gets back, maybe he'll find out.
We'll find out if he understands. But yeah. So then, Well, this is gonna. They find out who the dealer is, and they go to search. They look for a town or area where it is. They use the general says basically, you know what? We're gonna use Jordan. She's like, no, not my boy, not my indestructible boy who could probably have bullet spots off him just like his father. Yeah, and so they use his super hearing to locate stuff, and he doesn't have X-ray vision yet. So the two of them decide to go look in there, and then because Lois, being classic Lois, she's outside, starts recording her phone, and her dad's like, "Dude, you don't need the recording stuff. All you need to come back with me, otherwise get caught." And they end up getting caught. And this is where it gets kinky because they're both tied up, and she's like, "Dad, quit struggling with that knot." It makes it tighter. He's like, how many times have you been tied for? He's like, you don't want to know. Wink.
Well, I don't think she meant it like a wink.
We don't know.
He's been captured quite a few times in a non enjoyable way.
You think there was no role play in the bedroom with ropes?
We don't need to talk about that. But anyway,
rope-a-dope.
He realizes that they're in trouble. The guy, the main boss of the operation, is getting a gun ready. He's going to shoot the both of them. And so she finally says, Jordan, if you're listening, I need you to come in here. We need you to save us.
And this is why I have a problem. Everyone there is using, that's where they have all the LK, super. The one guy apparently has the heat vision. Do you think he doesn't have super hearing?
I mean, we never saw anybody with super hearing when they used XK.
No, but he's going to go to jail, but doesn't mean he's not going to talk and say, yeah, some kid hit me. And before I get hit, they were calling, the Lois Lane bitch was calling out for Jordan. So they're going to put two and two together. Was stupid. Yes. But especially when they find out that the dad says, for all this, what really worries me is the fact that the money, this is the big operation. Who's funding it?
Dun.
Lex Luthor.
Maybe. But we see Jordan go in there. He kicks some slightly super butt with his super powers, and he saves the day. However, because of that, they're late for the actual call, the final call. Who is the mayor?
Results.
Well,
Lana Lang.
Lana Lang. Sorry. Sarah. No, not the 15-year-old. No.
But because Sarah took her dad's voice and said, you gotta remind him that he doesn't want to tell her he's keeping stuff from her and not showing up even when she needs me. she decides to basically she has him tell me what and he says I can't. Jordan's like I can't tell you, so she gives him back the necklace and then breaks up with him because he won't tell her his secret. And this is what's really dumb is that he should have just said it. Normal teenager would have said something. If they have him not doing this, it just is gonna make it worse. And I really hope this isn't where we go. The CW Red comes in and decides, you know what, she's gonna go into the arms of her girlfriend, the one she kissed.
We're going to have to wait and see.
I don't want to see that crap because just it's no. Anyway, so she decides to crash at her dad's place. Shows up and they she admits that she broke up and she feels she regrets it and everything, but she's crying. So and her dad's really depressed. I mean, I'm surprised he's not drinking it because of that. And the way her mom, she went to go tell her mom about this. She's like, no, he made his bed. Now he's gonna lie in it. She pretty much just hates him. And I mean, I understand she has good reason he cheated on her, but if he seriously hurt, you think that part of her would still kind of loved him, would be worried about his safety? This is a guy, because people don't realize he could actually kill himself or do something to get himself hurt because she rejected him. It's a tricky situation, Anyway, but moving past that, we're gonna go over to Jonathan with his girlfriend leaving the basically.
I bet you're excited, aren't you?
I am excited. May only be let down because we see them walking back, and all of a sudden Jonathan gets a headache, and this is a headache that Clark got when his doppelganger came over. And who do we see walking up on the farm in red pants and the leather jacket? It's the Bizarro version, the opposite version of Jordan, and they recognize him right away, and that's how it ends. I'm just kind of disappointed because right now they're showing because Superman's gone. Remember in the death of Superman after he died, they had Steel taking over, doing stuff. And then they're gonna tease Connor Kent. My thing is, I was hoping Jonathan's finally gonna get his powers. No, he's not. It's like,
well, I think that
it's such a tease, man.
It's still a sensitivity thing, so it could be. We haven't seen anybody else other than Clark have their doppelganger come to the same Earth. So
no, but the headache though, because they're on the same place at the same time.
Yes,
that's what the headache.
Well, let's still hope he gets his powers. But that
I was hoping because honestly, I was really hoping that because I was hoping the yellow kryptonite would actually jumpstart his powers. He's just delayed. He's all being late, so. Hopefully that still happens, and he battled against his doppelganger.
Well, I don't think his doppelganger is evil. He comes there to say it's too late. Clark was too late, and the last thing we see is him covered in red as he looks horrified. No!
He's on the red planet, the red sun. He's losing. He has no powers. Remember?
So we're going to have to wait and see what happens. But overall, it's a good episode. Make sure to watch it if you can. If you're not watching this show, I don't know why, because it's really good. If you have seen it, though, or you just like hearing what we've said, go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to also like and subscribe. Be on the lookout for other shows we're reviewing and readings coming out soon. Froggy and I want to thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Bye!
Straight!
Gay!
Happy!